Hello everybody, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. My name is Riley, aka Honey Rags, and I'm a full-time reseller. I'm doing a haul video today. I'm sorry I'm breathing so heavy. I just had to haul all of this stuff from my unlisted inventory pile because I have better lighting right here. So I'm doing a haul video. What's different about this haul video from my previous haul videos that you're probably used to if you're a regular to my channel, the majority of this haul is shoes. I have 2 tubs full of shoes, but all of these shoes, except like 5 pair maybe, came from the Goodwill bins. And all of the clothing that I'm going to show you came from the bins. Although there's not much clothing, like I said, the majority of it is shoes. I want to do a quick PSA. If you're not familiar, the Goodwill bins is the Goodwill outlet. Super cheap. You pay by the pound. Basically get things right before they hit the landfill. So I've made videos in the past and made comments in the past about how the Goodwill bins are not my favorite. And there's nothing wrong with the Goodwill bins. I'm not good at it. My perspective on the Goodwill bins has changed a little bit from the videos I used to take a year ago when I would basically say, you know, they're not for me. They're not my favorite if I'm comparing them to a regular Goodwill store, but a lot of the reason is because I'm not competitive. I get lazy when it comes to like actually digging and hunting, and I have to spend a lot more time at the bins to find good things than I have to do at a Goodwill store. But in retrospect, you're paying way less for the items and time is money. I don't know. Anyway, my perspective on the Goodwill bins is changing a bit. I do notice that I'm going there more often than I was a year ago when I used to go like once every other month or once a month maybe. I'm going more often now, and I kind of have a rhythm down. My rhythm right now is really focusing on shoes because they're a lot easier to find and you don't have to do as much digging and inspection and stuff like that. So anyway, as I always usually say with my haul videos, I'm going to try to cut to the chase and not go into too much detail about each item because I know you guys don't have like 2 hours to watch a haul video. Most of you at least. There's just a lot of oddball brands in here. So, and I did already look up comps so I can kind of tell you guys with confidence how much I think it's going to sell for. First, I'm going to show you guys the 2 hats that I got. This is a Dorfman Pacific, which I didn't even look this one up, but because it says made in Stockton, California, and it's 100% wool, so I just threw it in the cart. The comps on these are pretty good. I think I can get like $24 out of this with free shipping. I would pay shipping over on eBay. And forgive me if I keep having to edit out little parts of the video. I'm probably going to edit out when I have to like bend over and dig for something so you guys aren't wasting time watching me digging for something. This is a Bailey's hat. I think I'd heard of this brand before, and it's just, again, it's a nice 100% wool hat. I'm glad that I got this one. I think I can get about $35 out of this one, and that would be free shipping. These are Clark's collection. So you guys probably know Clark's makes bendables and artisan, and Clark's has a lot of lines of shoes. These ones I picked up because I probably paid like $1 for them because they're so light. And as you can tell from the bottom sticker, they look like they were barely used, if not used at all. There's like no foot imprint or anything in this. So I think over on eBay, I'll be able to get $20 out of these. And these will go first class, so I'll probably pay like $4 in shipping. I found these kids Resell boots. So I have had really good luck with kids Resell boots in the past. Probably like 20 bucks with free shipping. Again, nothing huge. When I'm shopping at the Goodwill bins, my standards are a little bit lower than when I'm shopping at a regular Goodwill for obvious reasons because I'm getting things so cheap. I can afford to buy a bunch of things that I think are only going to sell for $20 with free shipping because I'm only paying like $1 or $2 for them. Whereas when I'm at a regular Goodwill and I'm paying $8 for a pair of shoes that are going to be $20 with free shipping, I'm like making $4 and it's not even worth it. So keep that in mind. I thought I showed you guys these in my last haul. These were actually not from the bins, but they're Z-Coil shoes. And I grabbed them thinking I was going to make a joke out of them to my fiance. Like, look at these are the ultimate dad shoes. But I looked them up and they actually sell. These new are like $250 shoes. This pair, they're a little bit older, so I think I'm going to get about $35 or $40 out of them with free shipping. Just from now on, for the rest of the video, so I can stop saying with free shipping. On eBay, I do offer free shipping on all of my items. So keep that in mind when you're trying to figure out like my profit margin and if it would be worth it for you to pick up the same type of thing. This is another one of those lines from Clark's, Cloud Steppers. These I picked up because of the style and the condition. I think I'll be able to get about $25 out of these ones. And I also found these little kids Timberland boots. Didn't even realize these are missing the laces, which isn't that big of a deal because I can replace the laces. But if you guys know Timberland, they usually have like these signature two-tone laces. So I'm gonna have to replace the laces, which I'm probably gonna end up keeping these for my children because I don't know if they're worth selling after replacing the laces and everything, but they still have like the original leather tag on them. So they don't look like they were even worn, but I found these were actually at a regular Goodwill also. These are Keen Kids Mary Jane flats. These I think I'll only be able to get about $20 or $25 out of. If they were like the kids Keen hiking shoes, I could probably get a little bit more, but they're not. This is a new to me brand, and the comps weren't the best, but they were in great condition, and I want to try out. I love trying out new brands. These are Monroe American shoes, and they look really 1930s, and I like that. I like this heel. These I think I'll be able to get about $25 out of as well, just because of the condition. These shoes sell for around $20, this brand, but that was in like more of a used condition than the ones I have. So these are BOC, which is a good brand and it does sell, but I stopped picking it up at my regular Goodwills because they always had like $6, $7, $8 on it. At the bins, I can get them for like $1 or $2 a pair. I really love these chunky sneaker heels. They have like a velvet lace. I think I'm gonna ask $30 for these just because of the style and condition. And if you guys follow me over on Instagram, you know these are not from the bins, but I only paid $4 for them. And I know I'm saying this wrong. They're Bagley Mishka shoes. So kind of like a wedding prom shoe. I think I will probably start these off around $70. I know I'm probably not gonna get that, but because it's my first time finding these, I wanna just start with high hopes. Some people say they have a hard time moving Bagley Mishka shoes. So I'll see. Like I said, it's my first time finding them. These aren't shoes, obviously, but this is I think it's Bejo by Susan Bejo, which is actually, I hadn't heard of this brand until I started reselling, but her purses all have like the same kind of look. I think this is like a side bag, and I'm gonna have to replace the chain, but I couldn't leave it there at the bins. I probably paid like 90 cents for it. If you find a BEIJO purse for cheap, I would pick it up. I think it would be worth reselling. These were also not from the bins, but these are Puma Trinomic. These remind me of like futuristic, like kind of borderline ugly, like Yeezy, that kind of style. So I thought for sure these were a really good find. I didn't even look up comps. Once I got in my car, I realized the comps are just decent. I only paid $4 for them. But this is how you tie them. You just twist this little thingy. It's really interesting. I think I'll probably ask $30 for these to begin with. I found these Vans, like tritone. Unfortunately, I didn't even realize the laces are really messed up on this pair. So I think I'm actually gonna replace the laces with like a bright orange or something that stands out, and then probably ask like $18 for them. Nothing huge. I found these really nice condition Morels, and when I found these, they were being brought out in a new bin from the Goodwill bins. And if you guys have gone to the Goodwill bins before, you know it's really competitive. And I know I missed a lot of good hiking shoes and boots because people were just like diving into the bins, and everybody looked past these. So I kind of like walked up there after everybody was already gone, and I'm like, these are in excellent condition. I think I'll ask about 25 to 30 for these just because of the condition. These are maybe a bad buy. These are just Lucky brand wedges. They're not really anything special, but they're a bigger size. They're size 10. So I think I'm gonna ask like 20 bucks with free shipping out of these. These are Remont shoes. These were also a bins find. I'll show you guys what the logo looks like on the bottom. Remont. new to me brand, but I looked up the comps and the comps were really good. I think I'm gonna list these for about $25 to $30. Another new to me brand, these are Technica. I put them in my cart without looking up the comps because they just felt nice and heavy, and they are a bigger size. And like I said, the bins is so cheap, sometimes it's hard to just let things like get thrown away into the landfill. But once I got home, I was happily surprised. It seems like the comps on these type of Technica boots are pretty decent. I think I will be able to get like $35 out of these. These were exciting. These were another thing that people kept looking over. Like there was a pair of Nikes, women's Nikes that were in like mediocre condition sitting right next to these, and this person like launched forward to grab the Nikes, and I thought they were grabbing these, and I was butthurt for a second because these are Tevas. These are men's suede Tevas. Unfortunately, there's a bit of scuffing at the front, but I still think even with that, these are a larger size, and overall they're a nice, really clean condition. So I think, I shouldn't say really nice, clean condition. Like when I'm not gonna list them as that because as you can see from the inside, they're definitely worn, but I still think I'll be able to get like $28 or something like that, maybe a tiny bit more out of them because of the style. These are Naotes. Naotes. So Naote was a new to me brand about a year and a half ago, and I found my first pair of like Naote sandals and I sold them for like $25 instantly. So now I'm hooked on Naote. These are in really nice condition. I think I'm gonna list these clogs for like $30 or $35. We'll see. Maybe $35 is pushing it. This is also a new to me brand. These are, I don't even remember, MBT shoes. So they look like Skechers Shape Up, so I grabbed them without looking up the comps. And I have no idea what the purpose is. I'm sure it's some sort of like fitness or something to help with your back. Like there has to be a purpose on why they're shaped like this. Regardless, the comps look pretty good. I think I can get like $40 out of these because these are in really nice condition, let's be honest. I also found these Earth shoes, which here, I'll try to, it has the same, Earth Spirit, no, what is the mother brand to these? Oh, it's gonna bother me because I've sold a couple of dresses. There's a mother brand to this Earth brand and I can't think of it. Regardless, I looked up the comps on these. These are men's shoes. They seem pretty good. I think I'm gonna list these for, again, like $30. These are women's Sperry's. I've never seen a pair of high top Sperry's at Goodwill, so I picked these up. They're in pretty good condition. They have a cute, you know, the regular like leather laces on them. They have little anchors on the inside. I think I'll list these around like $20, $24. That is it for the shoes. I'm sorry if I sped through those too quickly. Like I said, I just didn't want this to turn into like an hour-long video. So I'm going to put these up and then I'm going to jump into the clothing that I found. So before I move on to the clothing, one thing that I do want to say about the bins that I just thought of as I was cleaning up these shoes is that the bins really force me to look outside of my comfort zone and to look at things that I otherwise normally wouldn't look at. When I'm at a regular Goodwill, usually like the men's coats, the men's clothing, the sporting goods, the men's shoes especially, I will usually either look past them or they're an afterthought. I have a really bad habit in the Goodwill shoe department of just looking for something that catches my eye instead of actually skimming through each brand. And I know there's a lot of things I miss because of that. Whereas at the Goodwill outlet, you know, everything's mixed together. You have to do a lot more hunting, a lot more digging. Sometimes you have to wait for the next bin to come out. So what are you going to do? You know, I'm not just going to sit there. I'm usually going to dig through and see if there's something that I missed the first time. So the Goodwill bins really opened my eyes to a lot of new brands. And I think a year ago, I didn't realize that. I thought it was just a big, nasty warehouse that I would go to just to get sweaty and frustrated and smell bad. Like, you know, now I really can see why people get so addicted to the bins. Although it's still not my thing, you know, like I said, maybe a year from now my mind will change and I will be a bins regular. Who knows? So anyway, I had to get that off my chest. Before I go through the women's clothing, I'm going to go through these two really cool historical pieces that I found. Literally historical. Actually, let me start with this one. This is a pair of World War II aviation flight pants. And these are in such good condition. I can't believe it. These are like 10-pound pants. They have like this emergency zipper. I'm guessing it would be for like a paratrooper landing so that if they landed, they could just quick take off these 10-pound pants. And they're lined with this fur. I mean, and they have just pockets everywhere. And I just, look at, they have these straps inside the pockets. These are just really, really awesome. This is an awesome find. I looked up the comps on these and they're anywhere from like $40 to $200 plus. Obviously, this would be something that wouldn't be worn. It would be like, it would go to someone's collection. I think I'm going to go on the higher end when I list these because the condition is amazing. I think it might have, these might be like surplus pants. I don't know if these were ever even worn in combat or whatever the terminology is. Now the next one is also historical, World War II. Now, I haven't done research on these ones. I did do research on the pants. I mean, these could be like Vietnam War. I'm not sure. If somebody knows, go ahead and let me know. I'm obviously going to have to do research before I list them, but these are U.S. Navy Department. This is a U.S. Navy Department coat. I washed this coat with the pants, and my fiance was on my ass about it. He was like, no, leave them how they are. You know, people don't want things restored. I'm like, well, like these came from the bins, dude. They have to be washed. I don't care how old they are. So I just soaked them in cold water and I let them air dry. They have the USN, US Navy thing. Why do I keep saying they? This has the USN thing on it. However, this one is not in the best shape. Maybe somebody will love it because of that reason. It has quite a bit of like little tears to the fabric, as you can see by the pockets. Even though I washed this thing, it's so old, I could just, the sun's coming in, I can see these dust particles. I love vintage clothing, but when I can like see dust particles coming out of it and I'm sucking them in, there's something about it that's just... This is a Polo University wool jacket. So this, I made a boo-boo. I know with wool, you're supposed to keep it on dry clean only with low moisture, but because it came from the bins, I had to soak it in water, and I think I ruined it because the inside's really, I don't know if it's shrunken. I can't tell. We'll find out. Regardless, if I didn't ruin this, I think I could get like $25 or $30 out of it. This is an Anne Klein coat. So Anne Klein dresses and coats, they can be a solid seller. There are some pieces that I've sat on, but they do sell. I think this one will do good because we're going into springtime. This one I will probably list around $40 on Poshmark, around the same price on eBay. This is a Michael by Michael Kors jacket. So you guys probably know with Michael Kors, it is not what it used to be. I think I'll probably list this around not even 50. I'm probably going to list this around $40. And I'm probably, let's be honest, I'm probably going to have to sit on it until next year with that. I'm okay with that. I don't discredit things from coming home with me just based on the season. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to leave behind a nice Michael Kors coat just because it's not in season anymore. I found this Travada dress. So this is, I think, it's Anthropologie. I think Travada makes Birds of Paradise. Birds of Paradise is another brand that sells well. I think this is the mother brand to Birds of Paradise, but maybe it's vice versa. Regardless, the comps on this brand seemed really well, even on eBay. So usually when I'm comp searching on eBay with Anthropologie brands, they seem to get lower and lower. But the Travada seemed like it has a pretty stable selling point. This is a Wrangler, a vintage Wrangler. This is actually a men's. This is a men's extra long tails. Not that it really matters. But it's kind of like having like something that's husky. This is extra long for somebody who is taller, which I think will come in my favor. Anyway, this is just like a nice vintage Western, modern, early 90s, right, guys? Help me out here. Top, I think I'm going to list that one. I think I'm going to list that one a little bit higher. I'm going to go for about $28 on that, which seems high for just a vintage Wrangler, but because of the colors and pattern on that, I think they will sell for that. I always second guess myself when I'm pricing 80s and 90s vintage because pretty much anybody can go into a thrift store and find 80s and 90s vintage items. So when you find something for like the 20s, 30s, 40s, or 50s, and even 60s and 70s sometimes, you can put higher price points on the items depending on, you can assume that something older is going to have more value just because of its age or just because of that decade. Whereas with the 80s and 90s, you know, although it's considered vintage, it's not like, it doesn't have that aspect where people will buy it and think, oh wow, this has so much history behind it, if that makes sense. I've been selling vintage longer than I've been selling clothing, so I always like second guess myself when I'm dating vintage pieces that aren't really that old. This is a, I'm thinking early 70s tie top with like these cute little flare sleeves. This bad boy actually just barely fits me, so I think if I model this one, I'll be able to get like $25 or $30 out of it. Those vintage 70s tie front crop tops seem to do well. I sold one for $30, which was full asking price, like the day after I listed it. So I do have luck with those. This is what I'm thinking is a 1970s like pajama top. Because this is just pajamas, I'm probably just going to list this for like $20 with free shipping over on Etsy. But it's very kitsch. It has the primary colors, which I love. These all, I'm guessing, came from the same wardrobe because they're all handmade and they were all in the same Goodwill donation bin. Again, I'm thinking just because of the stitching on this and the way it was cut, I think this is also 70s. I thought this was just a regular dress, but when I actually tried it on, I think because of the, like they did like these extra large panels in the front, it's hard to explain. I'm definitely not a seamstress, so I'm by no means an expert, but I think this is a 1970s maternity dress. Probably list that one for about $25 because it would be like a house dress. Somebody I don't think in the 70s would have gone out with that on. That would be more like a round the house pajama dress. This is a Gimmicks top, which is just a BKE brand. I don't think I'm gonna get more than like $18 with free shipping for this, but it's cute and it has like the dip dye, which I like. And BKE brands still sell for me depending on the style. This is a North Face woman's top. Regular North Face tops and button-ups I actually stopped picking up at the regular Goodwill stores because they were always marking them up and I couldn't get more than like $20 out of them. But because this came from the bins, it was worth getting. I think I'm gonna list it around 18 or 20 bucks with free shipping. This is really cool. This is a handmade like purse or basket, whatever you want to call it. And it just has a drawstring. Look how cute that is. Like this would be a really cute side bag. I think I'm gonna ask about $25 for that. They actually have more than what I remembered. This is a Denim & Company. This is a chambray jacket, top, whatever. It's 1X, which is a good size. And Denim & Company, I think, is a branch off of Ralph Lauren, if I'm correct. This is I'm thinking 1970s. Like this is just a sleeper. Or not a sleeper. It's kind of like, what do you want to call this? Like not even lingerie. It'll come to me. Regardless, with all the cute little bows and details and lacing, and the fact that it's sheer and long and vintage, which all of those are trendy right now, and the fact that I paid probably 30 cents for it because it weighs nothing, I'm going to ask about $25 for it with free shipping over on Etsy. This is a White House Black Market. So this is their older label. When I first saw this, for whatever reason, I thought this was their newer label, and their newer label sells better for me. So this might have also been a bad buy. I think I'm only going to ask $18 for it. It is cute, and I do like White House Black Market, and it does sell. But I told myself I would stop picking it up unless it was the newer label. This is another Michael by Michael Kors piece. I won't show you guys the tag because you already know what it looks like. This is just a teal sweater. Again, I'm probably going to have to sit on this until next season. But at the bins, I couldn't leave it behind. This is really cool. This is a hand-dyed made in India. It's actually I thought it was a romper. It's not a romper. It's actually cuter that it's not a romper though. It's like a little mini dress. I just like this because of the dye, the sun and the moons. It reminds me of like very gypsy, very witchy. I think this will do well. I don't I don't know if I'm going to be able to call this one vintage though. I'm thinking that's like mid-early 2000s. This one I was really excited about. This is a 1990s Chicago Bears sweater. So these like 1990s NFL and 1990s big sweaters like this, like think vintage champion, like that came back and that was super hot for a while. This is also super hot, and the fact that it's the Chicago Bears makes it even better. I think I'm gonna put a pretty penny on this, like maybe like 40 bucks, which I know to some of you are probably thinking, why would somebody pay that much for a sweater, a 20-year-old sweater or 30-year-old sweater? But they do. This is probably my favorite piece. This is a late 1960s, early 1970s, total, like, I don't know if Janis Joplin ever wore anything like this, but this totally reminds me of like Janis Joplin. Fur carpet coat with like the 1960s, 1970s style embroidery. This thing is so cool. So when I saw this, I was really excited about it, but I actually almost didn't get it because you guys would not believe how dirty it was. It looked like carpet that somebody had just walked on for the past 60 years. But I actually was able to soak it in some OxyClean powder. I soaked it overnight thinking, you know what, if I completely ruin it because it just dissolves in the water, at least I tried. The stains, everything lifted right out. I was so happy. And of course I had to air dry it, but oh, look at this. This is what makes me think it's late 1960s and not so much 70s, you know, early mid 70s, because it has this nice heavy metal zipper. And by the mid 70s, they were doing plastic zippers for the most part. Maybe not so much on jackets, but that's where my mind went at the beginning when I was trying to date that piece. Wow, okay, so that is my haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was really eclectic, and I say that quite a bit. I always say, no, it's an eclectic haul. But what I mean by that is it's not like your typical Anthropologie and Patagonia and Lululemon. You know, I had just weird pieces, you know, not so much all my style, but pretty happy with it. So enough of me rambling. I'm going to let you guys go. As always, I'm going to leave a link down below in the description to my Instagram. You can head over to my Instagram and say hi in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching and happy selling.